What is up, guys? Welcome into a brand new video. Now today we're doing the usual thing that we do on a Monday. We go through the cricket gaming news, we go through the cricket news that has happened in the previous week. Slightly late today, I wanted to see the final of the India-England game before I made this video. But before we get into it, if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, it does massively help out the channel. We'll get straight into the video and see how we get on. So there was absolutely no news on Cricket 24, Gods of Cricket, any cricket games that came out that I saw last week. So we're just going to get straight into the actual cricket that happened. And the biggest game that happened this week, quite easily, was England versus India. India ended up winning by 106 runs. It has literally just finished. I mean, India played incredibly, I think, with having the three players out that they do in Kohli, Rahul and Jadeja. I think full credit goes to them. There was three players that won in the match: the Gill 100 in the second innings, the Jaiswal 200 in the first innings, and then how Bumrah bowled in the first innings won the game. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. There was no one else that really you could write home about. Okay, Ashwin bowls well, but he always bowls well at home. That's what Ashwin does. It was those three that just completely won the game. It was unreal. Zach Crawley with a couple of 70s. But apart from that, I mean, with the England team, nothing to write home. Jimmy Anderson was absolutely unbelievable for the whole test, showing that age is but a number. And at 41, doing some of the things that he does, like, he is just proving that he's probably the best seam bowler of all time. And he's probably still in the top 5 in what he does. Just absolutely incredible. He has to play the third test for me, and I'd probably go for another seamer. But who do you drop? Because the three spinners in Bashir, Ahmed and Hartley have looked great, have looked really good, and Ahmed and Hartley are contributing with the bat as well. I know Bashir isn't as good as a batsman as the other two, but everyone seems to be bowling really well, and going toe to toe with this Indian attack. When they've got a collective, I think they've got a collective 6 caps now. Ahmed's played 3, Hartley's played 2, and Bashir's played 1. I mean, how? Ashwin's got like nearly 500 test wickets, and there's not much difference between the two. So, I think the future's bright with them. It might be completely different when we get back to England, but I'm really impressed with how that they have performed so far, and this is turning into a pretty good test series, and roll on the third test. So in the series that everyone talked about and then no one is talking about it now, it's actually on. The New Zealand versus South Africa series, the one that South Africa have sent literally no one to because they're all playing the SA20, has started. In the first innings, New Zealand have gone on and scored 511 thanks to a Rachin Ravindra, 240 of 366 deliveries. I mean, what a 3 months this bloke has had. Going from the World Cup and now scoring 240. Just an unbelievable player. I just don't know where New Zealand have picked him out from. Like, he's just incredible. Kane Williamson scored another century. I think that's his 5th test century in the last 9 innings. And I highly believe that he's going to end up with the highest test match average out of the Fab Four, with Smith now moving to an opener, and his average just fallen off a cliff. So, yeah, great. Not really much contributions from anywhere else. And South Africa are currently 80 for 4 in reply. Kyle Jamieson picking up 2, Matt Henry with 1, and Santner with 1. So it looks like it might be an innings win for New Zealand. I don't know if they'll want to have a bit of a whack, put another 200 on, rather than enforcing the follow-on. They saw what England did when they enforced the follow-on last time they were in New Zealand. But as we kind of expected, just pure dominance from New Zealand playing against the South African D side, really. Now, in another test match that has literally just finished as well, Sri Lanka have just chased down 56 from what Afghanistan set them. Afghanistan started with 198. Sri Lanka came back with 439 all out. Angelo Matthews and Dinesh Chandimal with 107. Angelo Matthews had one of the strangest dismissals, and if you haven't seen it, go and search it up. Go look at Angelo Matthews' dismissal. So basically what happened is that there was a very, very wide ball down the leg side, Angelo Matthews tries to whack it. He's whacked it down to the boundary for 4, but in the follow-through has managed to come round and hit his own stumps. Go and watch the video. It is one of the worst balls you've ever seen in Test cricket and one of the worst ways to get out. It really was bad, and it does say hit wicket on the scorecard, which is always nice to see. But Afghanistan are still without some of their main players. I mean, Rashid Khan is still out with an injury. So they're going to be struggling. They have a very similar problem to a lot of these nations have, of that they just don't play enough Test cricket. I mean, this is a one-off test that Sri Lanka have ended up winning by 10 wickets. We've got to find a way to have nations like Afghanistan, Ireland, Netherlands, people like that playing. And actually, Netherlands aren't in the World Test Championship, I don't think. I know Ireland. I'm not sure if Ireland are, to be fair. But countries like Afghanistan have got to play more Test cricket. They kind of proved themselves in the World Cup to see how much of a likeable team and how well that they can play. Get them some more tests. Get England out to wherever they're playing, or have them over, or Australia, or actually, to be fair, Australia never want to play them anyway. I don't know why. But no, I'd like to see them play more Test cricket and hopefully get better, because they actually have some really good players. So following on from Australia versus West Indies, the Test series that actually gave a lot more than it was meant to. Absolutely wonderful win by West Indies in the last Test. We've gone into this ODI and T20 series as an absolute damp squib. I mean, it's been relatively dull. Australia again are too good for this West Indies side that they've brought over to Australia. I mean, they're not even the side that Australia are playing aren't as good as the side that England played in the West Indies. So it just seems like a waste of time. The tickets are too expensive in Australia. Like, they're coming out at like 130 to 100 Australian dollars, which seems really expensive for what it is. I mean, I usually have a moan that Australians don't turn up, but I kind of get why they don't turn up to this. I mean, for me, ODI cricket is dead outside of a World Cup. I mean, I wouldn't even have an ODI World Cup. I'd just completely scrap the format, because it's just dull. I mean, you don't get the excitement and the kind of, it doesn't play out like a test does over the 5 days. It's not as crash bang wallop and exciting as a T20 can be. It just seems to drag on. It seems to, everyone whacks it for the first 10 overs, and then you knock it around for 30, and then you smash it for the last 10. It's like, you just need to get rid of that 30 in the middle and just play. We just need to play tests and T20 in a schedule that is too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too busy at the moment. I think you have to just get rid of ODIs at this point. Maybe if you want to play 40 overs aside, I don't know, but I think I'd just get rid of the format. I'd say, okay, we're going to play tests, we're going to play T20s. You can keep the 50 over World Cup in and play it occasionally. But I'd literally say you are not playing any more bilateral 50 over series. It's just a waste of time. No one watches them. They'll do terrible on TV. They'll do terrible at the ground, and it just looks bad on everyone. The final thing that we're going to talk about this week, and it was an odd one. So, I mean, as you can see by the picture on the screen, the ball came down and it was kind of played into the ground by the under-19 England batsman against the under-19 Zimbabwe side. As you see quite often, the batsman reaches down, passes the ball to the wicket-keeper. As the England batsman picks the ball up, it's not going anywhere, the ball's not moving. He's picked the ball up just to give it to the wicket-keeper. You see this all the time. It happens all the time. No one ever says anything. Zimbabwe have decided to appeal for this. Now, I can't quite understand why, whether it's some sort of joke. I mean, Zimbabwe ended up losing by like 200 runs, so it didn't really matter in the end. But Zimbabwe have appealed and it has been given out. I don't understand how the umpires can give it out. And especially when it's kind of young players. I mean, surely the umpire has got to go to the captain of Zimbabwe, put his arm around his shoulder and be like, do you really want to appeal for this? Because this isn't going to look good. But I guess they have to follow the rules. I mean, I don't think this is a spirit of the cricket debate. You could say, I think the law is either batter is out obstructing the field at any time the ball is in play. I guess the ball's in play without consent of a fielder. If they've appealed, they haven't given him consent. So it's out. It is out. So I guess it is a spirit of cricket thing, but it stunk. It really stunk. But that is what it is. I guess a lot of controversy seemed to happen in under-19 World Cups. You had the Mankad, or the run out at the non-strikers end at the start of the tournament as well, when they needed like 2 off of the 2 with like 2 wickets left. So yeah, it always throws up stuff like this. It's pretty good. But yeah, this was just a joke. But guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.